Hello, folks. Welcome to our Everyday Leadership series. My name is Richard Fontenay, and today we'll be exploring the transformative power of effective communication in everyday leadership. You know, in today's fast-paced world, the ability to influence and inspire others through clear and purposeful communication is really a hallmark of exceptional leadership. So, put on your earphones, grab your favorite beverage, sit back, or maybe take a break. And if you're driving while listening to this podcast, please take care out there. Now, in this episode, we're going to delve into 3 strategies that everyday leaders can employ to effectively communicate with their teams. Getting on the same wavelength, active listening, and using verbal and nonverbal skills. Now, this podcast will be packed with information and training that I hope will be helpful for you. Now, first, we'll explore the importance of getting on the same wavelength. Now, as leaders, understanding our team's dynamics and ensuring alignment around common goals and values, that's essential for fostering cohesion and driving success. We'll discuss practical situations whereby we can cultivate a team culture that promotes collaboration and synergy. And we'll dive into the art of active listening. True communication is two-way street. And leaders who master the skill of active listening can create environments where team members feel valued, heard, and understood. We'll share tips and strategies for honing your listening skills, including maintaining eye contact, paraphrasing, and asking clarifying questions. And finally, we'll explore the power of verbal and nonverbal communication in leadership. The way we speak and the way we carry ourselves can profoundly impact how our messages are perceived and interpreted, and how they are taken in by other people. We'll discuss the nuances of tone, and reflection, and body language, and provide practical advice for enhancing both our verbal and nonverbal communication skills. Now, throughout the episode, we'll draw on real-life examples and actionable insights to help you become a more effective communicator and leader in your own right. So, whether you're leading a team at work, managing a project, or managing a team as an internet marketer, or striving to make a positive impact in your community, join us as we embark on this journey to unlock the full potential of leading through communication. By the way, if you are an affiliate marketer, you may want to check our other channel, Affiliate Marketing with Richard, where you will find a ton of digital product reviews. And if you're interested, I've identified the link below in the description. I have also identified other resources that may be helpful for you, particularly around team building, and that's a pretty important component in leading teams within our workplace. Now, let's get on with getting on with the same wavelength. In this segment, we'll delve into the crucial aspects of getting on the same wavelength with your team. Effective leadership begins with understanding the dynamics within your team and ensuring alignment around common goals and values. And here's why it matters and how you might be able to achieve it. To lead effectively, it's essential to have a deep understanding of your team members' strengths of their weaknesses and their working styles. Each individual brings unique perspectives and contributions to the table, and recognizing and appreciating these differences is really key to building a cohesive team. Alignment around common goals and values is really the cornerstone of high-performing teams. When everyone is working towards the same objectives and have a shared sense of purpose, it fosters unity, it fosters collaboration, and a sense of collective achievement. Now, as a leader, it's your responsibility to articulate a compelling vision and ensure that every team member understands their role in bringing that vision to fruition. Now, part of developing the vision is not just you telling what the vision is. What you really need to do is engage the team in the process so that they gain ownership through the process. Now, one powerful way to get on the same wavelength with your team is by creating that shared vision that inspires and motivates everyone, and getting them involved in that creation. Now, this vision should be clear, compelling, and aligned with the organization's overarching goals. By involving team members in the visioning process and soliciting their input, you can foster a sense of ownership and commitment that drives engagement and performance. Now, make sure as you develop your team vision, it's in line with your organization's vision. And this is so critically important, because there's nothing more disconcerting than a team vision that doesn't lead to the organization's vision. If, as team leaders, you don't develop a vision that connects with the organization's vision, there will be a huge disconnect between your organization and your team. And that is problematic for you. Now, in addition to aligning around goals and cultivating strong team culture, it's essential for fostering trust and collaboration and mutual respect. Now, a positive culture encourages open communication, celebrates diversity, empowers individuals to contribute their best work. And as a leader, you play a pivotal role in shaping that culture within your team by modeling desired behaviors and providing support and encouragement, and holding everyone accountable around shared values. Now, let's put all this together in an action plan. To ensure alignment with your team, consider implementing the following action plan. Number 1, schedule regular team meetings to discuss goals and progress and challenges. Number 2, encourage open dialogue and solicitation of ideas from all members. Now, developing dialogue is critically important, and really what that means is ensuring that people have a say and that you listen, and we'll talk more about that later on. Number 3, clarify roles and responsibilities to avoid confusion and promote accountability. Number 4, lead by example by embodying the values and the behaviors you wish to see in your team. And number 5, celebrate successes and milestones as a team, reinforcing a sense of collective achievement. You know, we don't often celebrate enough. In sports, it's always a celebration in many respects. And in teams, sometimes we just take people for granted. So it's time to celebrate. So by prioritizing alignment and creating a shared vision and cultivating a positive team culture, you can lay the foundation for for a high-performing team that achieves exceptional results. Now, in the next segment, we explore the art of active listening and its role in effective leadership communication. In this segment, we'll dive into the essential skills of active listening and its profound impact on effective leadership communication. Active listening is more than just hearing words. It's about fully engaging with the speaker and understanding their perspective and responding then in a thoughtful manner. Let's explore why active listening matters and how you can cultivate this skill as a leader. Active listening really is the foundation of meaningful communication and relationship building. That is active listening, and not just going, It really means getting engaged in the listening so that you're really hearing what the individual is saying. So that when you actively listen to your team members, you demonstrate respect and empathy and genuine interest in their thoughts and feelings. And this fosters trust and rapport, creating an environment where individuals feel valued and understood. So, what are some of the key components of active listening? Well, there are several of them, and they include the following. Number one, paying attention to the speaker without distractions. And number two, maintaining eye contact and open body language to convey attentiveness and to convey an idea that you are actually listening to the individual. Paraphrasing and summarizing the speaker's points to demonstrate understanding. Asking clarifying questions to gather additional information or just to seek clarification so that you really understand what the person is saying. And providing feedback and validation to affirm the speaker's perspective and their feelings. Now let's turn to some of the benefits of active listening. Practicing active listening yields numerous benefits for both leaders and their teams. And these include improved communication and problem solving. So active listening really promotes clear communication and facilitates constructive dialogue, leading to more effective problem solving and decision making. It leads to enhanced trust and rapport. So by demonstrating a genuine interest and empathy, active listening strengthens trust and fosters deeper connections with team members. It increases employee engagement and morale. So when employees feel heard and valued, they are more engaged and motivated and committed to their work and to the work of the organization. It reduces conflicts and misunderstandings. Active listening really helps prevent misunderstandings and conflicts by promoting mutual understanding and resolving issues before they escalate and to a point where you're dealing with a lot of anger issues. So getting engaged in understanding what a person is saying is critically important. So how can we cultivate active listening skills? Well, to cultivate active listening skills as a leader, consider the following strategies. Practice mindfulness. Be fully present in the conversations and minimize the distractions so that you can focus on the speaker. Show empathy. Put yourself in the speaker's shoes and strive to understand their perspective and emotions. Number 3, ask open-ended questions like what, how, where are you going with this? And these types of things, questions encourage dialogue and exploration. They invite a deeper understanding and a reflection and a discussion into the topic at hand. And validate feelings. Acknowledge and validate the speaker's feelings, even if you don't necessarily agree with their perspectives. And that's really an emotional component. So if the person is expressing anger or sometimes even tears, acknowledge where they might be coming from. Number 5, provide constructive feedback. So offer feedback and insights based on what you've heard, demonstrating that you have listened and that you've understood. Now, to enhance your active listening skills, commit to implementing some of the following action plans. Number 1, schedule regular one-on-one meetings with team members to listen to their concerns and ideas and feedback. Now, this is different than the group meeting. This is one-on-one regular meetings with each of your team members. Number 2, practice reflective listening techniques, such as paraphrasing and summarizing what has been said as you go through your conversations. Number 3, seek opportunities for feedback from colleagues and team members on your listening skills and areas for improvement. And number 4, set aside time for your own self-reflection so that you can assess your own listening habits and areas for growth. And number 5, incorporate active listening into your leadership approach by prioritizing empathy, presence, and understanding as you interact with others. Now, by prioritizing active listening, you can cultivate stronger relationships, you can foster trust and collaboration, and empower your team to achieve greater success. So, join us in this next segment as we explore the power of verbal and nonverbal communication in effective leadership. Now, in this segment, we'll explore the importance of nonverbal and verbal communication skills in effective leadership. Communication is not just about what we say. It's also about how we say it and the messages conveyed through our body language. So let's delve into why mastering both verbal and nonverbal communication is essential in today's leaders. Now, verbal communication involves the use of words. It conveys messages and ideas and information and education, just like this one. It encompasses our language, our tone of voice, the way we articulate, and effective verbal communication needs to be clear and concise and contextually appropriate, enabling leaders to convey their thoughts and intentions with clarity and with impact. Now, nonverbal communication, on the other hand, refers to the transmission of messages through our body language, our facial expressions, the gestures that we use, and other nonverbal cues. Now, research suggests that nonverbal communication often carries more weight than verbal communication. So influencing how messages are perceived and interpreted by others. Now, leaders who master nonverbal communication can convey confidence, convey authenticity, empathy, and strengthening their connections with team members and all those that they have contact with. Now, in today's diverse, multi-cultural workplace, understanding and appreciating cultural differences is really essential for effective communication. You know, diversity enriches our perspectives and enriches our experiences. But it also brings unique communication styles and norms. So leaders must be mindful of cultural nuances and adapt their communication approach to ensure inclusivity and respect for all individuals. Now here's a cautionary note, and that really relates to the gestures we use and cultural sensitivity. Now, while gestures can be powerful tools for enhancing communication, it's important to recognize that their meanings can vary significantly across cultures. So what may be considered a positive culture in one culture could be offensive or inappropriate in another. So leaders must exercise caution and cultural sensitivity when using gestures to avoid misunderstandings and interpret and unintended consequences. Now, one of the things that we can do is smile. You know, smile really crosses all cultures, and it shows that we are engaged with the individual to some extent. It shows also that humor is critically important in our interactions, and it shows a sense of kindness with individuals. Now, let's move on to how we put all of this into action. So, to leverage verbal and non-verbal communication effectively, consider implementing some of these actions. Number one, enhance your verbal communication skills by practicing active listening, using clear, concise language, and adapting your tone to match the context of your audience. Number two, develop your nonverbal communication skills by paying attention to your body language, maintaining eye contact, and being mindful of your facial expressions and gestures. Number three, educate yourself and your team members about cultural differences in communication styles and in communication norms, fostering a culture of inclusivity and respect. And number four, seek feedback from your colleagues and team members on your communication skills and areas that perhaps you can improve on, demonstrating that you have a commitment to continuous learning and growth. And number five, regularly evaluate and adjust your communication approach to ensure alignment with your organizational goals and values while remaining sensitive to the diverse needs and perspectives of your team members. So in conclusion, effective leadership communication requires getting on the same wavelength, it requires active listening, and it requires mastery of both verbal and nonverbal communication skills. By prioritizing clarity, authenticity, and cultural sensitivity in your communication approach, you can build stronger relationships, foster trust and collaboration, and drive greater success for your team and your organization. I'm getting a little hoarse here. Now, thank you for listening, folks. I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast that it would be filled with strategies and action plans, so I hope it has been worthwhile for you. Now, if it has, would you mind sharing it with others and sharing or subscribing to our podcasts? And I thank you for doing so. Now, join us next Wednesday when we explore strategies for engaging in difficult conversations in the workplace and outside of the workplace. Now, thank you for listening, folks. Continue becoming the best version of yourself and always become an everyday leader. Bye for now.